I mean, it still sort of fits Eats Village because, like, the world is a village, and we're talking about eating, and we'll just assume that it's all about stone, but if you guys got a suggestion, I'm still looking. This one takes place in Scotland. I was there for the Edinburgh Comedy Festival. I'm pretty positive I'm going to go back next year. I'm already thinking I'm overwhelmed with work, but I'm going to go back next year. And it was great. It was a hilarious, fun time. Met lots of new people. Tried some good foods. Their foods there have no preservatives. They have no. They don't shoot up their meat with hormones or their vegetables. You just feel healthier. And I lost 7 pounds while I was there, and I did not eat good. I ate fair food. I mean, that's what was around. I ate a lot of fucking shawarma. I cooked a lot, but eggs. I ate a few salads, but not nearly as much as here. It's just everything goes bad there because they don't have preservatives. Even the stuff in bags, you know, like in airtight bags, goes bad after 3 or 4 days. Anyway, finished the festival, took some mushrooms, went up Arthur's Seat. Like a long, big hike. We lost one of our friends. It was 3 of us. I'm trying to rethink my feelings about mushrooms right now because I have this theory that no one will ever get hurt on mushrooms. Even Dan Madonia on the first This Is Not Happening Storyteller show at the Improv 5.5 years ago did a story about doing mushrooms in his apartment with Benji and then chasing Benji, getting naked and chasing Benji around the couch, and then Benji got kind of, weirded out, justifiably, and eventually left. And Dan Madonia had no sense of time, goes, no, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to go chase after him. And it had been an hour and a half. It wasn't even like a minute. It was a lot longer after that. And he went outside on Fountain and Fairfax and just chased after Benji naked. And this was, 12, 1, 2 p.m. And you don't last long naked on Sunset. On Fairfax and fucking Fountain, right around there. It's right next to Sunset. And he got arrested pretty quickly, and he spent the next, few hours in jail on mushrooms, in handcuffs. Oh, the worst place you want to be. You don't want to be contained in any way. And they contained him in the worst way. They stole his freedom. So he spent the time in jail, and he got out. And people go, oh, let's see what happened to him. And my answer is nothing. Nothing happened to him. He got let off, got it expunged. He had a crazy story that he told on a first episode of a storyteller show that eventually, years later, went on to be filmed for the internet, and then a couple years after that, went on to be filmed for television. No lasting damage. He wasn't hurt in any way. His marriage didn't break up. He was fine. Just had to deal with some shit for a little bit. And this theory that nothing bad ever happens to you, like I say in my stand-up, on my last special, Paid Regular, which you guys can buy for $5. Go to my website right now. At the top, there's a big banner. It says Paid Regular. Go get it. I worked so hard on it. And it's really funny. And it's shot the way I think all specials should be shot. I did it right. I do a bit about nobody being hurt, and I'm like, no, you know what, honestly, every 10 years someone will try to hug a bus on mushrooms. But those are people who only exist to make our safe times feel more dangerous, because when they feel dangerous, they're more exciting. So yeah, sure, there's an example, but you don't know of one. You just heard of somebody who's heard of one. You don't know of somebody who's actually gotten hurt on mushrooms. No, I know. You're lying. It's hearsay. Anyway, so I was with a guy, John Hastings, and Evan Dismaris, and John Hastings was not having a good time. He started saying that he thought he was in a hidden camera show. Maybe it's because I did those amazing racist things. I don't know. And he thought all the street lights were cameras. They were taping him, and he wasn't enjoying it. And at some point, he didn't want to be with us anymore. And we were like, oh, we got to get him back to his apartment. And we tried to calm him down. But then you realize at some point, you can't calm him down. He can see you trying to calm him down. And if he thinks you're filming him for a fucking hidden camera show, of course, everything you say is a lie. So he didn't want to go with us up to Arthur's Seat. So eventually, I just go, Hastings, I guess you're on your own, man. And that's cool. And he did. He went off on his own. He ran away. We chased after him, and we thought we saw him, but it was just a rock. And then we chased after him again. We did find him, and then he ran away again. And we're like, he doesn't want to be with us. And you get worried a little bit, but he ended up being fine. His phone was gone. His phone was long gone. He was like, "Do you have my phone?" I'm like, "Oh no," but I know what that question means. And unless you have it in your apartment, that phone is gone. You chucked it. Anyway, so I went up to Arthur's Seat. Hastings was fine in the end. Lost his phone. I don't know if he found it, but he was fine. And went up, had a great mushroom trip. And something I've got to add to the mushroom primer is the days afterwards. You get a little more clear. Everything's a little more like colors are brighter. Everything's more vivid. Feelings are brighter. And so I did it. I took this mushrooms and I slept till, went home at like 10 a.m. Walked around. Oh, it's just beautiful. That whole mountain is just beautiful and green and sunny and great day. Went to sleep, had a nice Scottish breakfast, went to sleep, woke up, got my car, fucking left. Just drove north, going to the Highlands. And I went all the way up to Inverness and I stayed for the night. And that was nice and fun. And then I kept going. The next day I went to Loch Ness. Drove around. And I'm smoking pot the whole way. And it's hard. It's hard smoking pot and driving on the wrong side of the road. Because you get really zoned in. And then you just feel like you're in the middle. You just feel like you're your own cocoon. And then you're like, you forget that a bunch of cars off to your left or off to your right. You just feel where you feel. So it was fun. I just followed the cars in front of me. Sometimes it made me go on wrong turns. But screw it. And I went all the way up to Inverness and then went to Loch Ness the next day and walked around there. You can just get out of your car. You can just pull over and get out of your car. They have a freedom to roam law in Scotland where you can just walk wherever you want to walk. Go through people's farms, walk over fences. Doesn't matter. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you just go ahead and walk through somebody's field, through their yard. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't be homeless sleeping on somebody's front door, but fucking go. It's Scotland. It's all of ours, is what they say. So then I got out of my car and I walked around Loch Ness. You can camp there. There's old burned out fires that people that had set. And right around Farragate, I kind of went inland. Went on this nice hike in the mountains. And then, I almost did anyway. And then I kept driving. I went north back through Inverness. And then kept driving. And at some point, I started getting hungry. The plan was I was going to drive all the way. I was enjoying my trip around Loch Ness, but I had this idea to go up to the most remote hotel in all of the UK, in all of mainland UK. They have some of the islands, like Isle of Man, things like that, might have more remote hotels. But on the mainland, I looked and I found the most remote hotel, and it's the Garvault Hotel in Quinbrace. And you can look it up, and there's nothing around it. And when you come to it, it's just like you come over a hill or around a bend, and you see a white house so far away, and then nothing. To your left, to your right, straight forward, there's nothing else. Just rolling hills. And you drive and drive and drive. And there's another 15, 20 minutes till you even get the turn off for the hotel. And there's no sign, it's been blown off. And so you just drive and drive, and you get up there. And I did. And there were these people there. These 3 people in the hotel. It's 4. It's a 4-person hotel. And I was like, do you have any... They looked at me as I was parking my car. And they were like, who the fuck is this guy? And I walked in like I was an alien with my stupid mohawk. And they looked at me and they were like, hi. And I was like, hi, how you guys doing? And I was like, there was a bar that was open. Guy behind the bar. 3 people in the bar. And I said hi. I said, no, I'm just driving by. I was like, where's the hotel part? I think, oh, this is it. I was like, oh, really? And I was like, do you have any rooms? And he was like, no, we don't. We had them 5 minutes ago. But these guys are all there now. There was 3 guys and their buddy. The buddy was still coming. And I was like, oh, damn it. And they're like, well, where are you headed? I'm like, I'm just headed. I decided not to call. I decided, why would I call? I'm just going to make the adventure. I drove from Loch Ness. It was about 5-6 hours. And I'm like, no, don't call, just go. Enough reservations. If I don't work out, I'll sleep in the car. Enterprise upgraded me from a fucking little tiny Fiat to a full SUV for free. So I could have slept in the car. And he goes, hang on a second. And I was like, well, let me get a beer while I'm here. Let me get a Tenets. And I sat and I drank with those guys. And then two of them were like, you know what? We can share a room. There's one of the rooms has 2 beds in it. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah, man, we can hook you up. They gotta cook me dinner. They have a nice homemade dinner that he asked me where I wanted. And then a breakfast in the morning. And this place was so remote. But that's not where the Eats Village today is from. That's just where I was headed. And these lanes, you go down these lanes. And it's like, I mean, it's fucking, there's nothing there. The lanes go down to one lane with turnouts. You have to have turnouts because you're gonna, you can't, there's only room for one car. And there's room for 2 motorcycles. One car, so you have to wait until someone finds a spot to like turn away. And then you wave the other person up. And they pass you and they wave. Everybody waves because there's so few people out there. Everybody waves to each other as you pass. Everybody waves. Anyway, so I'm driving up from Loch Ness. I'm starting to get hungry. I know the deal is it comes with a meal, the Garvalt, and I wanted to eat it. I didn't know what time they served it. I wanted to get there around 6. And this is about 2 or 3 o'clock. And I'm driving, going north, past Inverness. And I'm looking for something fast because I'm getting pretty hungry. And I'm stoned. I mean, you can't drive around Loch Ness and not be high. And I'm smoking. I got some hash. Cooking my joints with that. Set up tobacco like all those fucking Europeans do and our black people do. I just cut it with hash. Got real high. Also had a little pipe. Smoked straight hash out of that. And I'm passing Cromarty Firth. This big sort of lake-ish thing that comes in from the whatever sea, the North Sea. Is that what it was? The North Sea? North Sea, yeah. It's like a bay, I guess. Maybe that's what Cromarty means. And I'm looking for something fast. I just want to eat something and go on my way because I'm too hungry. I'm not going to last another 3 hours. And I want to eat something now so that way I can build up an appetite again and eat at this Garvalt Hotel. And there's nothing in those roads. There's nothing there. And occasionally you pass like a hotel. I'm like, this seems too nice. And I passed the place. And it seemed cool. And it was called the Storehouse of Highlands. And I am high. And I parked. There's a big parking lot away from this farm shop at the Storehouse. So I turned to the parking lot. It's got, like pebbles and stuff. It's one of those. Right on the water. And I sat in my car and I waited until somebody else passed by. It was pretty packed. I think everyone from that village had come there for an early. At this point, it was now like 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock. I forget. Maybe it was late lunch. Maybe it was 2. And I sat in my car and I smoked 2 bowls of straight hash. And then I went inside and I passed a sundial. They had a working sundial. It's giant, size of me or taller. So fucking cool. And I went inside. They all this like stuff you can buy. On the outside, they have these metal like lawn ornaments. These flat like kittens or roosters, little baby chicks, if you will, which you should if you want to use the right language. And I went to the Storehouse, and it's buffet style. You just order, you get in a line, you ask them what you want, and they fucking bring you up in the front. Great, for a quick meal, it's great, but it wasn't just quick, it was delicious. It was so good. I got soup, I got a pot of tea, like a goddamn UK man. Gary Feeder's writing me right now. Vote Gary Feeder. AGT Finals, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Man, look at this picture. It's right on this water. It's right on the Moray Firth. Not the Moray Firth, the Cromarty Firth. And I got this meal, I ate it, I looked, they had that sort of picnic table set up outside. And, okay, it was a little overwhelming. The guy's like, what do you want? And a lot of these foods I didn't even know about, let alone I'm super fucking baked. I'm super baked. I mean, I'm out of my mind. I'm trying not to, look at my eyes too much. There's children around. And he's like, what do you want? I'm like, what comes with what? And he's like, do you want bread? And he's talking to me in this deep Scottish accent. I mean, thick. And I'm trying to understand him. But then he's telling me about foods that I don't know about in a Scottish accent. like the breads, do you want whole wheat or spelt? I'm like, spelt. Did I hear you right? I don't know what that is, man. I don't know what that is. Anyway, I ordered whatever I ordered, some soup and some food. I think I ordered like a breakfast type thing, eggs and like an omelet or eggs over medium. No, I didn't. I ordered some sort of steak. Oh God, it was good. And I sat there outside under the cover because it was raining off and on. Under the cover on these picnic tables, you know, the ones with like the clear sheets that go down, the clear plastic sheets. And I looked at the water and it was great. I listened to some people talking. You ever do this thing where you see people's conversations and you assume what their relationship is? I saw people having their boring conversations. I saw a date and they had nothing to talk about. They didn't talk at all on their date. I mean, I guess it was pretty normal to them to be in this place, but man, it was so cool. Anyway, drank my tea, sat there. They cleared my table for me. If you guys ever in that area, driving along whatever route that is, the A9, I think it is, and passing by the Cromarty Firth, coming head in. It's great. The farm shop. Fullis Ferry. The storehouse in the Highlands. I even found a video. This guy made a video of what he tries to do at the storehouse. Quentin Stevens has over 100 views. Anyway, then when I was finished, the rain was off and on, and the rain stopped. And there was a rainbow, and they have another parking lot off to the left. It didn't seem like I could really go in there. I was going to, and then just go, walk around. There was no rain right now, and I was going to go walk and look at the rainbow. But I was like, nah, get back in my car. I was in the car, and I was kind of pull in there. I didn't. This is the part that I'm doing this episode for. And so I'm driving, and I'm looking out at the water, and I see this rainbow, and I'm like, let's just chase the rainbow. Instead of pulling into this parking lot, let's chase it. Is that Skittles, Ed? It might be. Skittles. But I just decided to chase the rainbow. I should drive towards it and see how much of it I could see. And I drove for about 10, 15 minutes, and I saw it. It was getting close, and every once in a while, the trees to the right that blocked the view of the lake, they would go away, and you could just see this beautiful, the scenery. And that happened all through the trip. It was great. I mean, it happened all through the trip. And at some point, it opened up, and the rainbow was getting closer and closer. And then the rainbow was there. I don't know, but I feel like there's no such thing as the end of a rainbow, right? It's the lights and the water in the air, the rest of the mist of the air breaking over the horizon. Is that not right? But whatever. I saw it. I saw the end of the rainbow. It went right into the water. And not far. I mean, I'm talking 200 yards into the water. And it lit it up. It wasn't over a horizon or anything. It lit up the water where it came right down into it. I saw it, you guys. I saw the end of a rainbow. And I just pulled over and I stared at it. I mean, yeah, technically I'm sure you say, well, you were high. And of course I was. But you can't just say things like that in a vacuum. All these things, whenever someone has a problem with what somebody says, or like killing Cecil, even the lion. It's like, oh, how could you kill this beautiful lion? It's like, you're saying this in a vacuum. And you talk to people from Zimbabwe, and they're like, a lion killed my brother. They're fucking awful. We're supposed to kill them whenever we see them. They're not extinct. They're not endangered. Get rid of them. Also, this one had a name. People die all the time. Rogan had a funny thing about it. That lion was super old. That's how he got a black mane from getting really old. And the only way you get really old is if you, the head lion, kill a bunch of lion cubs, over and over, every season, because they're going to take your seat. So this lion that everyone protected is killing lions. So when you look at stuff that's not in a vacuum, you look at a more full version of it. And so yeah, I was high when I saw the end of the rainbow. But you're not just talking to some guy who got high. You're talking to some guy who got high and is able to operate a motor vehicle on a country where you're driving on a different side of the road on lake roads where there's very thin, you have to pull over to pass people. And a guy who gets high all the time. I mean, if I don't get high in a day, I'm telling people I didn't get high at all yesterday. That's how notable it is. And sure, I was high, but I know what I saw. And I guess that's what everybody says, but I'm high all the time, you guys. That high doesn't affect me that way. And man, I saw it. I saw the end of the rainbow. And it was amazing. So that's been another edition of Eats Village. Or unless you guys come up with another term for it. The Storehouse in the Highlands. Storehouse of Foolis. Farm shop and restaurant. Oh, there's a website. thestorehouseathome.com. Man, it was amazing. I mean, it lit up the water. It wasn't just like, oh, it disappeared. There was a big circle of the light hitting it and just lighting it. I mean, the colors. Anyway. That's the episode, everybody.